Hello everyone. So in this video I'm going to walk through about the project an effective forum crawler. So what are we going to see in this video is the problem statement, the existing system, the disadvantages of the existing system, proposed system, advantages of the proposed system, along with the use case diagram, data flow diagram and architecture diagram, and the module wise breakdown about the entire project and each module explanation. Okay. So let's get started now. So the problem statement goes like this. So we know that forums and blogs provides a very you know 1 second, let me take highlighter. So it provides a very good space for users to share knowledge, and they are very important source of information. Like if you have any question that needs to be answered, you are going to go ahead and start a new forum, discussion forum for that. And if you want to share something very important and any news article kind of things and all, you might write a new blog. So like that. So these are the areas where you people can share information among each other. Okay, this happens to be very important. Okay, but the problem is the forums and blogs are growing like anything, and crawling these forums and blogs happens to be very crucial task. Okay, like there could be lakhs and crores of forums and blogs, so we need to provide an efficient way to crawl them. Okay, like if you're the owner of the company, and if your company employees have posted 100 such blogs, you may also interested in knowing the report of your company, like which user have posted which blog and which is the most popular blog. All those things you will be able to, you would be interested in knowing, right? So we need to crawl each and every blog effectively. Okay, so that is the problem statement. So the solution for the problem statement that I given right now are as follows. So user will have to post a question whenever he has something. He will have to post a question. Okay, and he need to wait till somebody visits his question and then answer it. Right? So that is something which is not at all acceptable. So because if you post a question on one of the forum, so that question may be answered in some other forum. Okay, so how good it will be if there is an algorithm that pulls the answer from some other forum and shows it in the current page. So but in the existing system we don't have like that. User will have to post a question on one forum and he will have to visit each and every day to check if somebody have answered it. Okay, and also in case of a blog, right, the second existing system, in case of blog, right, so the company admin will not be having any liabilities to know which user have posted a most popular blog or something like that. Okay, so and this is about the system. Okay, the existing technology to crawl the blocks, right? Okay, we have three things: web Phoenix, Retrix, and something called scraping. So we have three existing systems, and three existing technologies, and this is the existing system. Okay, so drawback of this existing system are as follows here, like this. So these are the drawback of the existing system. User will be end up wasting time indefinitely. Okay, though the answer for his post may already be available in some other post, as I told you. Some other forum, as I told you. Okay, so and this is in case of forum. Okay, in case of blogs, the admin will not be able to perform any analytics or reporting on the usage of the blogs. Okay, this is not forums, this should be blogs. So we are going to provide reporting for blogs, and we are going to provide crawling for forums. Okay, so the drawback of these existing approaches are as follows. These are the drawbacks of existing technologies. Like it will be very complicated. The API that I mentioned earlier, the web Phoenix, the scraping, all those things are very complicated algorithm which will be taking lot of time, and their code is fragile. Like it could be easily broken or damaged at any point of time, at future time, for example. Okay, so they are not able to scale. Like they are okay for some small scale applications, but if you want to crawl some thousand pages and all, they are not able to do it. And of course it is very slow because of their complex nature. Okay, so these are the disadvantages of the existing system. Okay, so what are we going to propose is we are going to propose an effective forum crawler implementation using two techniques. Okay, one is using for crawler 4J. Expansion happens to be crawler for Java and JSON. Okay, so we are going to use these couple of technologies, and we are going to implement a crawler. Okay, not only for forums but also for blogs. Okay, so keep in mind with respect to crawler, with respect to forums, we are going to implement that auto suggestion of post. With respect to blogs, we are going to implement that analytics part. Okay, so this is what actually we are going to propose, and we are going to propose that, as I told you, the analytics on the blogs part. Okay, so the advantages of our proposed approach happens to be we are going to propose an auto suggestion of the post. Like if the user asks any question for us, so we are going to propose a post. Okay, in any of the available widely used discussion forums, there we propose a post for them, so the answer can be directly obtained from that post. Okay, so and also we are going to propose, we are going to provide various analytics for the admin of the company, like which user have posted which blog and what time and how many comments he got, like which is the most popular blogs, how many blogs he posted in last month. All those report the admin can see. Okay, so advantages of these are two of the advantages of the system. Okay, now speaking with respect to the advantages of the technologies, these two APIs are very simple and efficient. They are very lightweight. Okay, they are faster. Okay, and the code is durable, meaning it won't break at later point of time. So they are consistent and widely accepted. Okay, and it can scale to any number of post. Okay, because we are implementing a thread based application, so even if there is 100 pages to crawl, 100 threads will be created. If there are 1000 pages to crawl, 1000 threads will be created. So everything will be parallel, so no need of the application will not be slowed down for large scale crawling. So and at last it will be fast because it is a very lightweight. Okay, so now let us get into these diagrams, the use case diagrams, the data flow diagram, and the architecture diagrams. So this happens to be the use case diagram for our project. So if you can see, the user of our project will be having access to various components as shown below. So like he will be able to access the register component, so through which he can get the access to our project. He will be having rights to use the access control component, so through which we can log into our project and also log out from our project. Access control meaning logging in and log out from our project. And sorry. So then the user will be able to access this auto post suggestion. So this component is all about where the user will be typing a question. So we will be using this crawler 4J implementation and JSON implementation, and we will be crawling all the posts available, and we'll be showing them the matching post, like where all the answers could be found out for that question. We'll be showing it as a result. Okay, and in this component, analytics component, what we are going to do is we are going to generate three types of result. Okay, like the user will be able to, admin will be able to know which user have posted which blog and at what time, and also which post was been written by which author, and which is the most popular blog, and the content of the blog, all those things he can do. So as a company admin, the entire blog report will be available to him. Okay, so using this component, so that is nowhere available in the existing system. That is something special about this project. Okay, so and there is something called manage account, where the user will be able to delete the account or edit the profile like that, and monitor. Okay, monitor is very similar, where the admin will be monitoring his employees, like who is posting which blog, like that. Okay. So and this is about monitor is also a kind of history kind of thing, like what are the possible the previous forum he have crawled, all the things can be seen in the monitor component. Okay, so this is the use case diagram. Now to get into the data flow diagram, so we will be requiring the database in our project to store the user information and the password, detail, first name, last name, all those things, And in the basic training, you probably would have learned that each and every database will be having a DAO layer, like we will be having a DB helper which will be providing the database connection. We will be having the DAO interfaces to access the the functions, and the portals which serves as a mapping, all those things and all. So, and Pozo happens to be the mapping from the database table to the Java object. So, DAO layer basically is a layer. If any other components wants to write the data to the database, DAO layer will provide a write function. Okay, the other components will not be directly accessing the database, so they will be accessing the database through this DAO layer. Okay, hope that part of basic learning was very clear. So we will be having an interface. So this happens to be the entry point for accessing this DAO layer. As I told you in application number 3, the basic training. So any component should not be accessed directly. So everything should be accessed through an interface. So like in an example, we took the car component was being accessed by learner, and also it was being accessed by trainer. So like that, any component will be accessed through an interfaces only. So we have DAO interface here. And what you are going to see here is the front end screen. So I mean, this is the the front end part, okay, the view component. Okay, so that will be developed using HTML, CSS, all those things. So this will be executed in a browser. So we will be having a menu saying that click here to register a new account. Okay, click here to log in and log out. Okay, click here to query, like post, searching for any solution for a question. Analytics, okay, like seeing the blog report, like which user created the blog, what is the most popular blog, like that. Okay, managing, like how many employees are there, and who searched for what, all those things. And monitor, like seeing the previous history, like the answer for the previous questions now will be stored in the history now, that one. Okay, so this is the browser screen. So from that browser, if the user clicks on register button, the form will be opening. So in that form, we will be asking the user to enter the first name, last name, gender, date of birth, ID, password, and all. As soon as the user clicks on the submit button, so the service layer will be called. Okay, so the service layer is what I am highlighting right now. So the service layer primarily contains the servlets. Okay, like servlets are the one which will be integrating the front end and the back end. Okay, so this happens to be the front end, and this happens to be the back end. Okay, so the servlet happens to be the integration between the front end and the back end. So this entire thing is the back end, and this entire thing is a front end. Okay, so if you click on register button, register servlet will be called. If you click on access, login or log out, access servlet will be called. Query servlet will be called. For analytics, servlet will be called. For manage service will be called, like that. For each and every action that is possible in the front end, there will be a servlet to receive that request, and it will be passing on to the appropriate component in the back end. Okay, and most importantly, we will be having our crawler, Forge, and JSOOP implementation. So these are the core APIs we are going to use for building our crawler. Okay, and the next thing is we will be having a JAXB implementation. JAXB, you people are remembering that it's a Java and XML binding. So why we are using JAXB is because we are going to collect the blog report, right? The list of all the blogs created, we are going to collect it, and each blog we are going to store it in a XML file. Okay, so that XML file has to be ready into Java program, and we need to do the analytics on top of it, right? So for processing the XML in Java, we have this wonderful API JAXB, Java and XML binding. So that implementation will be here. Okay, so this entire thing will be working on blogs and forums. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, but for blogs we are creating a reporting component. For forums we are creating a auto post suggestion components. Okay, so that's about the data flow diagram about the project. Coming to the architecture diagram. Architecture diagram is just explaining you how many layers are there in our project, and in each layer what will be present. Okay, so we'll be having a layer called database layer, and on top of that we'll be having a layer called application container. So this happens to be the business logic layer, and we'll be having a layer called client layer. So this happens to be the front end screen, the web browser. Okay, so if you can see, for database layer we are going to use MySQL software. For business logic, we are going to use JBoss or Tomcat server. For client layer, we are going to use any of the physically available browser. Okay, so in the database we are going to just store two information, the user information and the user details information. User information will just have username and password table column. User details will have the first name, last name, gender, date of birth, all those things. Okay, and in application container we'll be having the core business logic. I mean all the Java files will be present in the business logic, like servlets, interfaces, DAOs, that crawler 4J and JSON implementation. Okay, controllers are web.xml. Okay, helper classes or just to supporting classes, and utility classes like DB helper, all those things. All the business logics like .java files will be written in the application container, whereas in the client layer we'll be having only the front end part. Okay, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Ajax, jQuery, okay, Twitter Bootstrap for developing the wonderful screens, and any other plugins that like validator plugin. All those things will be present. The front end part will be present in the client layer. So this happens to be the architecture diagram for this project. Now coming to the modules breakdown. So coming to the modules breakdown. So here I will be telling you how this entire project can be divided into smaller sub-modules. Like in the module 1 we'll be working on database design and DAO layer. We will define how many tables we need and how many columns we need, and for that tables we'll be creating a DAO layer. As I mentioned earlier, DAO layer is a service layer which provides the database services to the outside world. Like if any components wants to write the data to the database, so they will be contacting the DAO layer. If any database wants to, if any components wants to read the data from the database, they will be once again communicating through DAO layer. So they will not be given the direct access. So they will be interacting with the database through DAO layer. Okay. So the second module is all about a register and access module. Register module in the sense the user can register as an admin or as a user. Access module in the instance you can log in and log out from our application. So that components will be implemented in module 2. And in module 3 we are going to implement that crawler 4J. Using this crawler 4J APIs we will be writing a logic to crawl the forums. And for crawling the blogs we will be implementing that JSON API. So and we will be writing a threaded application for crawling the blogs. And in module 5 we are going to implement the JAX-B. So this API is required for mapping the XML files into Java objects, like reading that set. If there are 1000 blogs created by a company, 1000 XML files will be generated. So that 1000 XML files should be parsed for generating the report, like user-wise report, topic-wise report, like that. Okay. So for that purpose we'll be using JAX-B in our module 5. Okay. So in module 6 we'll be implementing the query module. The query module, as in the user will be entering a query, like a question. So we'll be suggesting the post, like where the answer for this question can be found. That posts and all we are going to suggest in module 6. And in module 7 we are going to implement the analytics part. Like we are going to provide the admin of the company, saying how many users are involved in the blogs, which user created the blog, and how many comments he got, and what is the content of that blog. All those things and all we are going to provide in analytics part. And module 8, that manage and monitor, okay, like which user searched for which question, and the history of each user. All those things will be implementing in module 8. And in module 9 we are going to developing the we are going to develop the user interface, as in the front end screen using Twitter Bootstrap, Ajax, jQuery, all those APIs we are going to develop using in module 9. So module 9 is another sort of, so using the Twitter Bootstrap, Ajax and all those APIs frameworks, we are going to generate a wonderful front end screen. And in module 10 we will be moving our entire project into JBoss. So till module 9 we will be working on Tomcat. So once the entire project is ready, we will be deploying our project in JBoss. So this is about the PPT explanation. I hope it was clear. Thank you.